Welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly space robot a diet of pure nostalgia. Retrobot buddy, what would you like to talk about tonight? What, you're too busy? My phone's off the hook. 5 beeps.
I am not the law. I am the law.
Judge Dredd. 5 beeps. You want to talk about the Quintesson Judge. All right, well, tonight we're going to talk about Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Quintesson Judge. I knew we'd get there. So here we have Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Quintesson Judge. This is one that I've had on pre-order from Amazon for quite a long time, and it just kept getting pushed back. I finally received it. I kind of was afraid that it was just going to disappear, but we did finally receive it. And so here is an unboxing. Now I will admit that I've actually opened this already and looked at him, but I wanted you to get the full experience. So here we go, unboxing him. Of course, first we want to take a look at the packaging. Because as with all of the Transformers Earthrise stuff, the packaging is very, very nice. So we've got the Quintesson Judge shown very prominently in the window, and what I like about this one is he takes up pretty much the entire space. Some of the figures from this line, I've noticed that the boxes are very large and then the figure is a lot smaller inside there. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you, Optimus Prime. And then we've got some beautiful illustrated artwork on the side. I mean, that looks fantastic. I love it. This is the kind of stuff that I really missed in some of the other lines that we've gotten, but they've put a lot of effort into really stroking that nostalgia nerve. We've got the logo and a really, really interesting graphic here that is obviously intended to represent the Quintessons, and does it pretty nicely too. And we've got Galvatron flying through space. Sort of reminds me of how he was flying through space at the end of Transformers the movie from 1986. Of course, we've got the standard Earthrise illustration on the side here, and you can see the Quintessons again shown prominently here. And then on the back, we've got our toy view panel with a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo here, and we see the Quintesson Judge shown prominently on his little throne there. It's not much of a throne, but that's okay. I did not buy this guy for the chair. And it shows the ratcheting face feature with some blurry effects there, and then it turns into what seems like a mini-con prison cell that has the Universal Connect feature, which allows him to link to other characters from this series and from Siege that have that Universal Connector for flat panels. So that's what we've got. Of course, there's the ancient Cybertronian at the top here that I'm sure says Quintesson Judge because it says Quintesson Judge underneath. And on the bottom, more legal mumbo jumbo. So let's go ahead and open this box and take a look at what we have inside. So here we have him in all of his glory, and of course we desperately need our little piece of cellophane. There we go, and we will set this aside. And we will take our little piece of cellophane, which back in my day was called a tech spec decoder. And now let's see what we can reveal from the map. And I do love the way that it really makes the red parts pop. And it's got to say Quintessa somewhere here. Oh, wait. Boy, that's hard to read. It does say Quintessa. Right, let me see if I can get it to show in the camera. There we go. So if you can make that out, it does say Quintessa, but it is really, really hard to read. And that's it. And so that's another piece of the big map, and maybe I should have been saving these to put together, but you know, I didn't. So we can get rid of that. So we've got the instructions, and I will read these carefully later, or I won't. So now we have the Quintesson, and we'll pull him out of his packaging, and I think that he had a plastic thing. I had cut that off previously. I'm sure that you don't need to see me cut off the little plastic tab. And he comes with a little pistol, which is very important. And he comes with a little chair. And I have to say, this is the first Transformers toy that I can think of that comes with his own lawn chair. So that's a great feature. I think that that more Transformers should come with things like lawn chairs and maybe a beer hat and other yard side essentials. Maybe a kiddie pool, that would be nice. And we've got other faces because he doesn't have his last two faces on the back. So we need to add these. And once you install them, you really don't need to ever take them off unless you're putting them back into the package to do an unboxing video. Not that I would know what that's like. So let's pop these out. There we go. And there we go. And so let's just go ahead and I'm going to pull that out a little bit here. And then he's got this little slot here, which should engage this little hook right there. And then he's got this little notch back here that ideally should catch on that little hook. So let's try and get that on there, unless I'm not smart enough to do it. It's supposed to go in here somehow. Okay, I'm sort of doing it right, I think. Okay, so we are going to take the top with this little cage piece out, and we're going to set that aside. And then we're going to flip up the little tab here and the little tab here. And then we are going to snap this head right on there, like that. And then that clicks in. And I will show you again on the second face. So you see how this clicks up in there and snaps on just like that. And then like that. And now we can add the top, and we have our Quintesson with our ratcheting feature. So look at that. You can give it a single click so we can shuffle through the different faces, or you can also really make it whirl. And I actually like that better because I feel like that's more interesting when they're just kind of whirling around and landing on a face, almost like death roulette, depending on which face you get. So that's cool. We also have a little gun, and he can hold his gun, and you can take the tentacle here, and they have 2 posts on here. And the post is the first post, the one that's further up, actually goes underneath and just kind of sticks there so that he's actually holding his tentacle up. And then the second post allows him to hold the gun, and that way he can hold the gun and fire on an enemy and be like pew, pew, pew. It doesn't come with any effects pieces, but it does have an effects port, so if you want to add a little bit of blast explosion to the end, then you can add some blast explosion. I was promised blast explosions, and I'm not getting blast explosions. Here, there we go. So this is one from Rung, and yeah, now he's. See, this is more of a than a pew. So yeah, we've got here, and of course, he is able to sit in his chair. There is a hole right there. It's kind of hard to see because everything is clear, but you can stick him in his little chair here and have him point his gun. And then if you need to change the face, the handle is now in the back, so he can be sitting in his throne and switch identity, face of death. I think that these are like all different emotions. I think I read that somewhere. So that's like a sad guy, and that's kind of an angry guy, and that's kind of a bored guy, and oh, then there's the guy with the orange head. Wait here, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what that guy is. And then, of course, we've got Face of Death again. And that's the one that everybody remembers. But nonetheless, we can take a look at these sculpts, and they actually look really good. I really like the different sculpted faces here. The detail is nice. They also have the ability to move their mouths. So you have a little bit of chin articulation, which is nice because, you know, for a guy that really his whole shtick is that he has 5 faces, you want to be able to move the mouth parts. Demon guy looks awesome. He might be my favorite. And then there's this guy. He's disinterested. This guy, his mouth does not move. And then we've got this guy. He kind of looks maybe like Confucius. I'm not sure, but yeah, Confucius here. His mouth doesn't move. And then we've got the Face of Death, which you know, he can do things like say, "Feed him to the Sharktacons," and that's pretty cool. So, feed him to the Sharktacons. Yes, that's important. So yeah, we've got 5 faces. We've got our tentacles, which don't really hold a pose, which is why they needed to do this little thing down here so that he could hold up the gun. They sort of go where you leave them, almost, except then they don't. And that's fine. I mean, they're tentacles. I'm not sure how much you want from tentacles. I guess it would be nice if they actually had a wire inside so that you could put them into cool poses and they just hold that pose. But we're not going to get that. So that is Quitesson Judge. He really looks a lot like the cartoon incarnation from season 3 of the Transformers show, as well as Transformers the movie. And that's really what we want. You know, we're going for nostalgia here, and that's what this guy is. He is just 100% pure nostalgia, because we never got this toy in the 80s. There were no Quintessons. We got the Sharktacon Gnaw, And that was it. We didn't get the Alligatorcons, we didn't get the judge here, we didn't get the bailiff. None of those characters did we ever get toys for. So one other thing that you can do with this guy is you can take the gun and you can hide it under the chair, and it just goes right under there like that. And that way, if you're kind of negotiating with him, so let's just say that Generation One Wheelie is here, and he's like, "I'll be blunt, friend in front," and then he just shoots him from underneath, and and then Wheelie dies forever. That's not such a bad thing. So yeah, he can shoot dudes from his chair, and that's awesome. He does have an alt mode, and the alt mode is important. So let's move Wheelie out of frame because nobody wants to look at Wheelie. And we will show the alt mode. Now I will say, he does stand, which is pretty impressive considering how top heavy he should be. But yeah, he does stand, so that's cool. So to do the alt mode, we need to take him out of the chair, of course, and then we take out this cage thing, and then we're going to flip up the various heads, just like this. And now there is a door here. Well, actually, there's all these panels. So we bring down these panels, and this door is the one that's in front. So we bring that down like that. And we bring down all of the other panels as well. The panels are on these double hinges. So make sure that they are all clicked down as far as they can go. And then we'll go down a little bit further. And we can move out the tentacles. And now there is this little thing on the bottom, and this is just kind of a release. So you see what that does. That kind of pulls these things together. That releases his laser beam piece. So as you're pushing these things down, you might notice that they don't always want to go all the way down. If that's the case, it means that the bottom is not rotated correctly. If you look at the door, there's two little tabs underneath here. So you need to rotate the base until these two tabs line up with these two little slots. And then that will allow you to put the front door all the way down, and then that will also allow all the other panels to go down all the way as well. And that's kind of important because this guy will not stand up straight if these doors aren't all the way down. Now we take our chair and we pull the gun out, and then we're going to fold the sides out, and we're essentially going to flatten the chair. And with the chair flattened, we can connect this panel to the front panel here. Just like that. And then we can take our cage, and you see we got our cage here. So we will put our gun thing right in the top there. I don't know why. I don't know what purpose the gun serves on the top of the cage, but it is there, and then it can just kind of sit there, which to be honest, I'm not a fan of. Yeah, it just kind of sits there like that. It seems like it's not really where it's supposed to be. We can also take our laser blast thing, the stuff that comes out of the Quintesson's butt, and we can plug it into these two posts right there. And it makes sort of a mushroom looking thing. And that just goes right on top here. And it doesn't really... See, it doesn't really click down definitively. It just kind of goes in there. I mean, it's not going to fall out or anything, but it also just doesn't look like... I don't know. It doesn't... It's just kind of sitting in there. I'm not wowed about how that works either. So we've got this that's just sort of setting here. I do like the cage because the cage allows you to open it up like this, and then we can kind of fold up Wheelie a little bit, and we'll put Wheelie inside here. There we go. Get in there, Wheelie. And it's okay if Wheelie doesn't fit completely. If you just kind of cram him in there, then that's okay. Because one thing for sure is that you don't really have to worry about if you break Wheelie, because Wheelie sucks. So there we go. We've got Wheelie inside a cage where he belongs. Yeah, that's what you get for being Wheelie. And we've got the Quintesson right here, and you can see him from all the different angles. I have to say that, okay, I don't like that this, I feel like there should be a 5mm hole here that allows him to just peg in. It's fine not being there, but because this has these 5mm holes, it seems like it should go like that. Or take the gun out and then turn the cage upside down, and now it has that 5mm hole. And it's unfortunate that Wheelie is now upside down and he's tremendously uncomfortable, but do we care about the comfort of Wheelie? We do not. And so we can then take this and we can put it in the tentacle. And so he's kind of holding the gun like that, which is fine. He can't aim it because it's a tentacle. But that's okay. He's Quintesson, and right now he's like some kind of torture cage. Which, granted, the Quintessons never had a transform. So this is completely invented by the toy designers. But I'm okay with it. It's definitely something. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's left up to my imagination. And right now, my imagination is that it's doing terrible, terrible things to Wheelie. And that's never bad. So there you go. The Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Quintesson Judge. At, I believe, the $29 price point. He is a little bit pricey, but he is a little bit of a larger sized figure with some very neat features. I wish that we had more metallic colors rather than just gray and off-white, but I guess I'll give him a pass on that. Other than that, the detail is really nice. The transform is interesting, and it adds a unique play feature. And of course, anything that can torture Wheelie, I'm happy with. So that's always good. And that's it. If you are a Transformers enthusiast, then you may be interested in this guy, or you may not. But if you are a Gen 1 fan, and especially a fan of the 1986 Transformers, the movie, then let's face it, you want this guy. You want him, and you're going to pay for him, and you're going to like it. So, if you've liked this video, please feel free to click the thumbs up button, maybe subscribe, click the notification bell so that you know when we're doing more stuff. Other than that, is Quitesson Judge guilty of being cool?
Guilty.
He is. So, have a wonderful night, and Retrobot, what do you think? Anything else?
Spare me this mockery of justice.
I knew he was going to say that.